Hi, welcome to Learning Monkey. I am Raghu here. In this class, we do some practice examples on Python. In Python playlist, we discussed in a video called How to Improve Your Coding Skills in Python. There we discussed that we have to follow 3 steps to improve our coding skills. First step is we have to understand the concepts of Python. Then in the second step, we need to have a deeper understanding of the concepts. These programs help you in deeper understanding of the concepts of Python. So what we have to do here is you just take the question and you have to solve it on your own, then check for the solution. If you can solve these questions in 1 or 2 minutes, maximum you have to take 2 minutes. If you can solve this in 2 minutes, then you are good. If you're taking a long time, more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes like that, means you are not good in basics. So you have to watch the Python playlist again, then practice these programs again and again multiple times so that you will have a deeper understanding of the concept. Coming to the question, I will show you the question once, then I will go for the explanation. So this is our question. You take the question and try to solve it on your own. So this is our question. What they are showing here is here they are showing it class overpriced exception. They are inheriting the exception class, means they are doing user defined exception. They did not mention the body of the class, they just mentioned it as pass. What they have declared here is they have defined a user defined exception called overpriced exception. And second one, class invalid number of bedrooms exception. They have defined another user defined exception, named it as invalid number of bedrooms exception. It is inheriting the exception class. So we are having 2 user defined exceptions named overpriced and invalid number of bedrooms. Coming to our class home, in this they have mentioned 2 instance variables, number of bedrooms and rent. So what's the meaning of that? Whenever we define the object, we pass 2 variables. Those variables are placed to number of bedrooms and the rent of the home. That is what the meaning is, number of bedrooms and rent is. They defined a function here, rent underscore price function. In this function they mentioned that if self number of bedrooms less than 1, means if the number of bedrooms value is less than 1, 0 means 0 bedroom home. We don't have that homes with a 0 bedroom, so they have raised an exception, invalid number of bedrooms exception. And the second thing, if self dot number of bedrooms into 3000 less than self dot rent. What's the meaning here is, suppose let's take, if the number of bedrooms is 2 into 3000, 6000. If the rent is less than 6000, if the number of bedrooms 2 into number 3000, 6000 less than rent, means the rent is overpriced. So they have raised an exception called overpriced exception. They caught these exceptions, except overpriced exception means they are displaying expensive, invalid number of bedrooms exception means bedroom value is incorrect. So they are displaying these messages whenever the exceptions are caught. So this is the class they have defined. So what they have defined later here is they have defined 2 objects of class home. They have defined 2 objects of class home 2 comma 5000, means 2 means number of bedrooms, 5000 means the rent value is 5000, and the next object is given as home2 is a home of 0 comma 2000. 0 means number of bedrooms and 2000 means rent of the bedroom. That is what they have defined 2 objects. Now they defined that they have given 2. They write the code try except block, and finally what block. In this try block they have used the home1 dot rent underscore price. They have calling the rent underscore price method from home1, means 2 comma 5000, and they are calling home2 dot rent underscore price. So what we have to understand here, we already know the basics of exception. We already discussed the basics of exception in our Python playlist. Here we have to apply those concepts, but here we are having a new concept here. Let's try to understand that how this will be executed whenever they call this home dot rent underscore price. See here, whenever you went into this, you call this method, inside this method they are having try and except block, but this method itself is placed in a try and except block. So there is some meaning with this. You have to understand that. We will discuss what's that in a minute. Let's try to solve this problem first. So whenever they call the rent underscore price home 1 2 comma 5000, 2 means number of bedrooms. So it is not calling the exception of number of bedrooms. 5000, 2 into 3000 means 6000. 6000 less than 5000. So it's not if this condition is false, so it is not raising an exception. So it is not raising an exception, so it is coming out of it. This method is executing. After that it is calling home2 dot rent underscore price. What is home2 values? 0 comma 2000. What's happening here? It is sending the value 0 means number of bedrooms less than 1. No, 0 less than 1. Yes, it is true. Means it is raising an exception. Whenever it raises an exception, it will check for the exception here. It will catch the exception here. What's the exception it will catch? Raise invalid number of bedrooms exception. Print bedroom value is incorrect. This is what it is displayed. So they asked this, they gave this question and asking that what is the output that is will get after executing this program. So what is the output we'll get? Bedroom value is incorrect. This is the output it will be displayed. Means this method is completed. After that it's tried to execute this program, executed successfully. So here and finally block will be executed. This is finally block. So the output which we got here is bedroom value is incorrect and program executed successfully. This is finally block. So don't stop your analysis here. We have to understand what happens if the method itself is having exception block and this method is placed in the try blocks. Means here we are having an exception. So what happens here? Let's try to understand. See the function itself is having try and except block. This function is placed in this try and except block. So for understanding purpose we have written here like this. This is inner exception. If the exception is not caught here, it will check in the outer level. That is the point we have to understand. This is not discussed in our basic Python exception videos. So that's why these programs will help you in deeper understanding of the concepts. So these examples are taken from different sources, different placement exams, so that these will help you in writing the placement programs easily. So whenever the point you have to understand, whenever if the exception is not caught here in the inner level, the exception will check in the outer level. It will try to catch the exception in the outer level. So you can write the exception, you can catch the exception in the inner level or at the outer level. You can write it anywhere. Let's understand deeper by taking a few more examples of this concept. The same example with another situation here. The same example, that's why we are not explaining here. So the same example, except overpriced exception. We have written only one exception. The other exception is written here at the outer level. Invalid number of bedrooms exception. The same example, 2 5000. This is not raising exception inside, but 0 2000. This is raising an exception. Which exception it is raising? It is raising a number of bedrooms. So raise invalid number of bedrooms exception. Is it there to catch here in the except block? No, we don't have it. So where it will check? It will check at the outer level. So our execution comes from here to here. It will check in the outer level. Invalid number of bedrooms exception caught in outer level. This is the output it will display. So after that, what it will continue? It will continue execution finally and continue if any code left in the bottom, it will continue execution this after finally block. So it won't display this program executed successfully because this method raised an exception, but it is not caught inside that. That's why it came here and executed and continuing execution. This is how it will display exception caught in outer level, and this is finally block. This is the output. Let's take one more example so that you will have a better understanding of that. Continuation after exception. See here what we have done here is the same example except zero division error. We have mentioned an exception, but this does not belongs to both of them. if any exception caught, it will jump to the outer level. It check for the exception in the outer level. So what happens? Let's try to example 2 comma 6500. 2 bedrooms means what's the maximum price it should have? What's the maximum rent? It should have 6,000. If it is above 6,000, it will raise an exception. The point you have to understand, whenever this is raising an exception, here it is raising an exception. What's the exception it is raising? Overpriced exception. But this is not caught here inside. It is going outside and it is checking for here. Overpriced exception, expensive. No, so next it won't continue with the next one. This is the point you have to understand. It won't continue with the next one. It will continue. It's continuing execution here. Finally block will be executed. After that, if any code is there, it will continue execution this. That's why the output is expensive. This is finally block, continuation after execution. So this is how the exceptions will be in if you are having levels. This is how they will execute. So hope you understand. Our next example here is this is the example. They have given they have given a class. Inside the class there is a class variable and instance variables. 2 instance variables are given. So what's the question they are asking here is how many reference variables refer to the object created at line 1 at line 2. So they are asking, they have defined an object here at line 1. So how many reference variables refer to this object at line 2? When you come up here at line 2, how many reference variables are referring to this object? Policeman of Ramesh. That is what they are asking for. So we clearly discussed when in the basics how reference variables, how memory is allocated, to object. That is why clearly we discussed how memory, what's happening inside, how the memory is allocated. This level of understanding is very, very important to improve your coding skills. So let's try to understand what's the output of this. So the example we consider, policeman of Ramesh. It is creating an object. What's object means? It will define a space. Assume that the space is. So this diagram you should be familiar. These diagrams we discussed many times in our previous Python playlist. That's why we are not explaining what is this, how the space is assigned, what is this 5,000. 5,000 is the address of this location. Means PM1 is referencing to this location, to this object. So what's the second line they have mentioned? PM2 is equal to policeman of Suresh. They have defined one more object. The reference of this object is given to PM2. Assume that the second object is defined at 8,000 location. So PM2 is referencing to 8,000. What's the next line? PM3 is equal to PM2. Means PM2 is assigned to. Now PM3 is, after executing this line, PM3 is referencing to 8,000 location. After executing the next line, PM2 is equal to PM1. PM1 is referencing to 5,000. No, 5,000 is assigned to PM2. So PM2 is referencing to this Ramesh object, this object 5,000. And next one is PM3 is equal to PM2. PM2 is referencing to 5,000. The same is given to PM3. So PM3 is also referencing to 5,000. PM2 referring to 5,000, PM3 referencing to 5,000, PM1 referencing to 5,000. So how many variables referring to the object defined at the line 1? 3 variables. That is the output of this program. So coming to the next one, so we have displayed print PM1, PM2, PM3, all are pointing to the same location, same address location. So that's why the number of variables is 3 variables. The next question which we consider here, this is the example. So they have given list 1, count 1 variable list. In the list we are having value 0, and they have given some loop. Inside the loop we are having if and else condition. After that they are displaying the list. So whenever we are trying to solve this type of programs, so you take a paper and pen and keep on take a list and write clearly about what's happening inside, so that during the practice, if you do like that, you will get correct answers. This will help you a lot in understanding the concept. You have to practice it like that. So let's try to understand what's happening in this program. This is the program given. List 1 is equal to 0. The list is given 0, means it is present in 0th index. Count 1 is value is given 1. So for value in range of 4, 9, what's the meaning of that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the values taken in the loop. Inside, when it goes inside the loop, if count 1 less than len of list 1. Len of list 1. What is the length of list 1? List 1. Length of list 1 is 1. Count 1 means 1. 1 less than 1? No, it is false. Whenever it is false, it is going to else and is appending the value. What is the value here? 4 is the value. So in the first loop, if is false, if condition is false, that's why it is going to else and it is appending to the list. 0, 4 value is there in the list. After in the second loop, again it is checking. Count 1 is 1. 1 less than, what is the length of list now? It is 2 now. What is the length of list? It is 2 now. So 1 less than 2. Yes, it is correct. What's happening here? It is going inside the if condition. List 1 of count 1 is equal to value. Means it is changing. List 1 of count 1. Count 1 means it is pointing to first index. 0th index, first index. At first index, it is replacing with new value. What is the value now? 5. So whenever you go inside the if condition, it is replacing, it is not appending. That is the point you have to understand. Okay, and it is increasing the count. Means first loop condition if is false, second loop if is true, third loop if is false, fourth loop if is true. Like that, this is how it is assigning, it is updating. So the output which we get after executing this is the output is 5, 7. This is the output 0, 5, 7, 8. See here, 4 is missing because 4 is overturned. In the second loop, 4 is overwritten with 5. The next time if condition is false. So what happened here? 6 will be appended. After the fourth loop, 6 is overwritten by 7. Next 8 is appended. This is how it is executing. So the output is 0, 5, 7, 8. So these are the programs which we discussed today. Like this, we will discuss so many programs in our coming classes, so that in the second step you should have a deeper understanding of the concept. These programs will help you in order to deeper understanding of the concept. This deeper understanding of the concept will help you to go through the third step. What is the third step? Take a problem, write the code. Take a problem, write the code. In order to go to that step, we should have this level of understanding. So do practice these programs again and again till you get the clarity and till you are having a deeper understanding. Hope you understand the concept. If you have any questions regarding the concept, please post your questions in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the latest updates. Thank you.